is Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story featuring Tom Bowman and Tom Bradley. Now, crack one open and let the tour begin.
I just realized I've got my tailgater beer and it ran out right as we were getting started.
You're empty?
I did not plan well, my friend.
No, you did. You know why you planned well? Because right there on the floor is a bucket of beers.
I might have a bucket of beer over
here.
here.
That to me is good planning, is what that is.
Let me get another Budweiser then, which is our tailgater today. Budweiser's a go-to for us a lot of times.
It's mine. This Bud Heavy is it's just my go-to. And if for those of you that are watching this, over my shoulder there are two signs. One is Woody's.
Yeah.
Because that's where we are. Woody's Pub and Grub.
Yeah.
And Budweiser, the king of beers.
Can they see that in that
right over
shot?
my shoulder? For those of you watching, for those of you that are listening, trust me, over my left shoulder, gigantic Budweiser King of Beers banner. Because we are outdoor on the patio.
Yeah, we are.
It's about 70 degrees right now.
We got a highway right behind me over here.
This is my commute.
By.
This is 1/3 of the way to my office.
You got to drive this crap every day, don't you?
Every day, I get in the fast lane. I put on that adaptive cruise control. You have that adaptive cruise control,
sure.
Where you tell it, "Hey, keep a car link between me and the car in front of me, and you don't have to do anything."
Can you see Black Thunder behind me?
I can, sorta. So
that's my big SUV. It did something really weird today on a bridge that I was going over, which had concrete barriers on both sides.
Yeah.
A car was coming. It buzzed and put up a light and a warning on the dashboard I've never seen before. It was like, hang on, speed. It was all going to go to hell.
I have that in my car too, and I forget about it.
Yeah.
And like when someone's going to pull off to do a J turn down here. For those of you in the Midwest, the J turn is the bullshit we have to do on these highways. But it'll flash that up on my dash. There's a red light, and it pops up on my dash.
J-turn is a crock of crap.
It is. You really can't see your vehicle because we're outside and it's a hazy day.
Yeah.
There's like this white light behind you.
All right.
It's very angelic. It's like
it's a little bit of a halo that kind of follows me around. So that's that's quite all right. I'm gonna open this beer, but I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
How many times do I in a month's time can I order a Budweiser and get a Budweiser? How many times in a month does she bring me a Bud Light?
Who's she?
Whoever's taking care of me at whatever establishment I'm at. I'm like, I'd like a Budweiser, and sometimes I'll say a Bud Heavy, and sometimes I'll say a Bud, and it's like it happens approximately once a month. This is a Budweiser.
Right.
A Bud Light has a blue label.
Well, this is also known as Bud Heavy.
You can call it that.
Because there's Bud Light and then there's the original.
Yeah,
Bud
the
Heavy.
original.
I remember we were at the lake doing something. Oh, we were doing your morning show. And I said, yeah, I'll take a Bud Heavy. And I had to explain to the server, who was 20-something,
right,
what Bud Heavy meant. And I thought, well, they're not clearly training you well here.
Well, I mean,
this is bullshit.
It should be a simple thing that they come to know, which is that a Budweiser is a Budweiser, Bud Light is a Bud Light.
That's right.
And they're completely different beers.
And all Bud Light is they take old Budweiser long necks, they put water in it, they shake it up, and they cap it. That's Bud Light.
I didn't know you worked at Anheuser-Busch.
That's how it works.
So thank you. Listen, my friend Adam is such a great guy. He brought me.
Wow.
You didn't have to laugh. God, I could hear that over here.
I'm telling you. This is the
people driving on the highway heard that. They were like,
this
damn.
is the pros and cons of coming out live somewhere and promoting it. Friends of ours show up, and then we go, oh, shit. Why did we invite everybody?
Yeah, it happens. It happens. But Adam is
people.
Adam is with Boulevard Brewing Company.
I know.
And he brought me a bandana, which is going to go on as a do-rag when I'm riding my Harley this summer. So thank you very much.
But you can't open open a non-twist-off bottle with that bandana.
No, you've got – what did you get?
I have the essential item. I have the bottle opener right there. That's the important part. That
nice.
bandana is cute. It looks like you just got back from the groomers. You know when they put up?
I thought maybe it would look like I was going to lobster night.
No,
I didn't know what it was.
It looks like when you take your dog to the groomer and they come home and you're like, oh, that's cute. Let me take that off quickly.
I was going to look like that cowboy. For those who aren't watching, if you're listening, I just put the bandana on like
a steel horse you ride? Is that where your next line was going to be?
I want to come in like a cowboy who's been out there on the range. And you come in and you're wearing the neckerchief down here, the bandana. Yeah. And you come in, you're like, I'm mighty parched out there. It's been dry. Give me some whiskey. No. Give me a Boulevard. And they go, okay. And they come over to you and they're like, you smell like shit. It's like, well, yeah, I've been out on the prairie for 6 months.
Everybody at that time smelled like shit.
Right. Everybody. So everybody? Even
Everybody.
the bartender did?
First of all, they all
What about Miss Kitty? She comes out, she's like, hey, let me sing you a song. You're like, no, please, go take a bath.
No. There was a problem with the kitty. What I'm saying is that
Oh, damn.
Everybody was dressed up to the nines. They had all these collars. They had like 50 layers.
Why did they have collars and layers? To hold
Keep the stank
in.
That's right, to keep the stank
What
in.
they did the whole
Good
time.
gracious.
What they were up.
So here we
right?
are.
This guy over here is not he's like, that's right. I wasn't even there, and I know that's right.
So here we are. We're on location.
Yeah.
We're at Woody's. We love it. This is a spot that we stop at frequently at the end of a ride.
Yeah.
Because it's not too far from your house and my house. We take the back roads. We come across. We go, hey, man, we're going to stop at Woody's. We're going to have a beer, maybe a nosh, and then we're heading home.
Sometimes if it's a long ride with multiple stops, we'll make this the last stop.
Yeah.
But something you may or may not know is sometimes I make Woody's the only stop. I come in here unannounced with nobody else. I get a beer, and I sit right here and watch the highway and smoke a cigar.
Okay.
And when people come up, they're like, hey, and I go, get out of my life.
You
right
might need some
and
hobbies.
I put on a bandana, get out of my life right now.
And you turn into Clint Eastwood? What the hell's going on?
Yeah. Get out of my life. I better take this off. People are going to freak out.
All right.
Thank you, Adam, though. The bandana will be worn with pride. Appreciate it.
We got it. So before we get too deep into things, let's do a little housekeeping as we always do.
All right. Wait a second.
Yes.
Can I invite over our guest so he's ready when it's time?
I mean, you can. I mean, you can walk over. The camera's
When
not
you get a
live, but he
chance.
can walk over whenever he wants. I don't care.
Bring a beer with you. There you go.
There you go. All right. So if you're watching on Facebook, that's not all you should be doing. Go up top, look above. There's a follow button. There's a like button, and that's great if you like us. I honestly, I could care less if you like us. Follow us is more important because whenever we post things, like today, we posted this as an event for those that were within so many miles of us. Hey, if you want to come out and have a beer or whatever.
Explain this to me, the follow thing. Like, when you post the video today to Facebook, will people who are following us, will they receive
They
an
get a
alert?
notification that says Tom's World Beer Tour posted a new video. And then that's how you know to go watch it. That's how my mother knows how to go watch it.
What notifications would you not want to get in your life?
In Facebook or in general?
No. In general.
That burning sensation is a problem.
Okay. Wait a second. You'd rather not know?
I'd rather not know it's
You're
a
out
problem.
there having a good time, and you're not telling anybody about the burning sensation.
I don't need a doctor calling me and saying, I have a notification for you. That burning sensation is a real problem.
It's a real problem. We need to see you pronto.
That's right.
I think I'd rather get the notification. Well, here, I'd rather get the notification. I don't want other people to get the notification that Tom
Well,
Bradley's
there you go.
burning sensation is a problem.
You know, that's a good offshoot podcast that we should do. The Tom Bradley Burning Sensation podcast. What's going on in Tom's head? What's burning in Tom's head right now? The Burning Sensation podcast.
Let's talk about the burning bush and go.
That's right.
And
All
here
right.
we are.
So follow us on Facebook so that you know
Yes.
what's going on. Don't forget, because even though you watch us, from time to time you can't watch us, so go to your favorite podcast place, iHeart, Stitcher, Apple, you name it. Find Tom's World Beer Tour in the search. Hit subscribe. It's free. Everybody loves free. It's free. And then every Thursday morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning, we drop the new episode. And when you're making your commute, we're a good hour and 10-minute show. So if you're going to drive someplace that's an hour and 10 minutes, we'll keep you company, at least on Thursdays.
The whole time.
Or Friday or Saturday, whenever you get to it. I know people that let them build up.
And you can also ask your voice assistant. Is that what it's called?
Siri, for instance.
Well, like, or Alexa. Say,
Yeah.
hey, man, play it, and they'll
You
play
can.
it.
You can say, Alexa, play Tom's World Beer Tour, and it will play the latest episode.
And if you don't like that episode, you want to go back further or whatever, you
Yeah,
can
you
ask
can
for
do that too. So all
And
those
you'll get it.
places. We're also on YouTube. Don't forget about YouTube. We will post things from time to time on Twitter, but anyways, here we
All
are.
right.
And by the way,
Yes.
final piece of business. I know we don't care about the episode numbers anymore, but when you get to milestones, right? Like your 18th birthday was important. 20, 19,
21 is
21's important. Then the next one's 25 because that's when your insurance goes down.
Yeah.
And then it's 30, 40, 50, whatever. This is
Retirement.
episode 20.
We hit the 2-0.
It's a
on
nice
this thing.
round number of episodes.
Let me also address something else here,
Mm-hmm.
which is the fact that last week somebody came up with a great idea, and we were open to ideas from our listening public. why aren't we sharing ahead of time what our conversational beer is going to be so people can play along if they have the home game? They can actually grab the beer ahead of time and play along.
Because that involves extra planning and work that we just don't do.
It does. Now, at some point, we may occasionally do that. And will you send that out on Facebook then and social media?
I'll send it out on all of our social channels. But, I mean, at the end of the day, let me pull the curtain back just a little bit. Usually on Tuesday mornings about 9:50, right about the time you're finishing your morning show, I will send a text. Where are we going to be? Who are we talking to? On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays, if we know it.
If we know it. And if we don't, sometimes it's on Wednesday. At least we know where we're going to be.
And sometimes we have no.
Now, next week, we know
clue.
where we're going to be, and I got a great teaser.
Okay,
for
all right.
next week.
Then we'll talk about that in a little bit.
right.
We need to move forward and get into the heart of the matter of this podcast. Our conversational beer and our conversation with our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, is he on camera now?
He is.
Okay, all right. Just a second. There
He's
we
a handsome man.
and he's taken, by the way. Holly's like, shut up. And
She's
ladies,
not here right now.
She'd still say, shut up and hands
Isn't
up.
she at the hotel tending bar?
She's bartending tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
we're going to talk about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Simpson, incredible singing musician extraordinaire. You got some fans out here, which is really nice to see.
Well, that's
hello.
good. That's good considering he's singing here in a little bit, and he's going to need people to hang out.
You're going to need that. Man, how have you been?
I've been great. How about you?
Been very, very good. By the way, if you're listening to that music and you're like, doesn't that kind of need a trombone solo? You're
no,
right.
No.
And
Once
this
again,
guy-
I haven't practiced at all. The thing's still sitting in my guest room downstairs.
He's got to get that out in practice. When we finish tonight, we're going to keep on going on when you finish up with us, and you're going to go to the stool right behind Tom Bowman, and you're going to open up and do your first number.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what that song's going to be?
Johnny Cash.
What do you want to hear?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Okay.
Johnny
We'll do a
Cash.
Johnny Cash song.
Were you at the outdoor venue the first time that I met this guy? Were you with me?
I don't know if it was the first time. You're talking about it, what used to be the, I don't know what the hell it's called now, but it's like a,
You were out there by yourself.
yeah, Hogs and Heifers is what it was called.
What do you
way back
mean by
when.
myself?
You were out there by yourself.
You do that from
You were
time
just
to time.
sitting out there on the deck
Are
talking
you
to people.
serious?
Yeah, and I recognized your voice from the radio.
I didn't
It's
know
like-
I was by myself.
Wait, you're on the
Tom-
radio?
That's Tom Bradley.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
I know that you walked up and said hello to me, and you said we have a mutual friend, which is Foxy.
Yes.
You guys worked together
Yeah.
at one time. And I was like, wow, cool. And then I went back on Monday or whatever and told him that I had met you. But I really enjoyed you up there on your guitar, just you solo, singing away. You got a great voice.
Thank you.
And dude, you get into this. What do you call yourself? What are you a baritone? What is your range?
I really have no idea. Probably baritone.
You hit that. I wouldn't call you a bass, but you hit that lower
Yeah, definitely not a
range.
bass. So
with
I guess a baritone.
a
yeah.
real rich sound. It's very, very good.
Well, thank you.
You know that I've
Thank
been a
you.
fan for a long time, and it's been a few years that we've known you. Oh hell, we got to get our conversational beer going.
You have the checklist in front of you, don't you?
I don't have any check. Oh, you mean all the beers that are
What's
allowed?
it going to be besides
No,
Budweiser?
oh,
I
did
thought
I-
this was the only beer.
Wait a
No,
minute.
no, this is
No,
your
no.
tailgater.
Did I even?
Oh, that's tailgater.
Wait a
okay.
minute. Did I even put in what last week's was?
I don't know.
What the hell was last week's beer?
Last week we were at Burr Oak Brewing Company.
Oh my God! I don't have 18 or 19 in here.
Yeah, last week was Frank's Cream Ale. God, that was good. It
What was
right off the tap.
what was the week prior? Do you remember?
Dude, I can't remember that. We'll have to go
Oh,
back and do some
shit.
research on it. This week, I want to tell you that at Woody's Pub and Grub, and Megan, who's taking care of us over here, she helped me pick out this week's conversational beer. So our featured beer this week, let me go ahead and pass them around.
For episode 20.
At a place like Woody's,
Ooh,
Oh, it's in
meal
a can. Oh,
a
dude,
meal in a can.
Are you kidding me? Is that
Yeah.
what I think it is?
steak,
Steak,
taters, and gravy.
Oh my God!
For those around the country who don't know, Stag.
When drinking beer means nothing.
Stag is a beer among
Wow,
beers.
Stag in
There
a
it
can,
is.
for God's sake. I don't think you can get Stag in a bottle, can you?
Yeah.
You
Well, I
can?
mean, at times, yeah. It all depends on how things are going
Wow.
business-wise for them. We have,
Stag.
by the way, as we're opening these, we have a misty rain that's trying to come in here,
I know.
and we're only working with electronic equipment, so it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if we get wet.
So we got the highway, we got people, and we got water. All
Yeah.
the things that we love.
Here we go. Here's to our conversational
Cheers.
beer. It is
Cheers to you,
beer
my
that
friend.
leads to
Cheers.
great conversation.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you and yours as well.
Oh, that tastes exactly how I thought it would taste.
I don't know. It makes me feel at home.
Here's what I like about
It
this.
tastes like my childhood.
Wow. Wow.
Your childhood tastes like a stag.
Yeah.
I was going to say high school, but all right, I'll give
Childhood.
you that.
Yeah.
So what I like about this week's beer is that because we're all over the country, not every one of our conversational beers can be acquired in every state that
That's right.
people hear us. Oh, you can get Stag everywhere. You can
You
go to
can?
Oh, sure you can. Come on.
You can't
I
get
didn't
this
know.
in Texas, can you?
Sure you can.
I hadn't even
can't-
heard about it until I moved to Missouri.
Dude, they had Stag in California when I grew up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, swear to God.
I really thought if you drove 50 miles further west from here, you'd be like, Stag who?
No, dude.
I didn't know.
No. Trust me. You can get Stag in Texas.
Arizona, Massachusetts. Come on, man. North Carolina.
I
Can
thought
you
it
get
only
Stag?
came in a 16 ounce or a 40. I didn't know.
I mean, I'll take it.
Those are
Didn't know
just
you
the
can get it
kinds
in
of
a
people
12.
you were hanging around with. That's
yeah,
it.
this is like a shot.
You said too you came to Missouri. Where are you from, boy? Where are you from?
I'm from Oregon. From
That's right.
Central Oregon.
You're from
Uh-huh.
Central Oregon?
Yes, sir.
Near the coast or inland?
Well, Central Oregon would be inland.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
you can say Central
Oh,
Oregon
yeah,
and be
yeah.
on the coast.
No, right in the middle. Like
No,
like
that's
on
you
the-
got him on that one.
on
When you
the
say Central,
between the E and the G, right near
Okay,
Bend,
I got-
Oregon, which is
I
like the
got you.
microbrewery
All right.
capital of the world.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I mean, last time he was there, the coast was further west, but you don't know. There could be erosion. There could be flooding waters. I'm not sure what else can happen. I forget about it because I think about you coming to here from Nashville.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry,
That's
is
right.
were you near the coast in Nashville?
In Nashville? Yeah. I had an oceanfront
Just checking.
beach house. Yeah.
Oceanfront on the Cumberland River in Nashville. So you grew up. When did you leave Oregon? How old were you?
I was 18.
And you were like, I'm out, Mom and Dad. I'm going to go be a star.
Yeah, pretty much. Then I had to get a job, you know. No, I joined a band right out of high school. I had a band throughout high school with my brother, and joined a band that was touring in the Northwest
Yeah.
back then, and they had some connections in Nashville, and so we loaded up our crappy trucks and cars and moved to Nashville.
Did it look like Beverly Hillbillies when you rolled in there?
Pretty much.
Or more like the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo? How did that
More
thing
like
look?
more like the hillbillies.
The
Yeah.
hillbillies. So,
But we didn't have anything, you know. I was 18. I had
Right.
like, you know, all my stuff in a box, and the rest of the stuff just scattered throughout the.
Did you
bed
have
of
an
my truck.
amplifier?
I had an amplifier. I had a couple guitars.
A couple of them?
nice.
Acoustic, electric?
Acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you guys were playing country music to some degree or some sort of country music if you're going to go to Nashville.
We were playing like alt country,
Right.
like
But
Steve
something that would
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
perfect. Because if you were playing, alternative music or something, you would have gone to L.A. or somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I grew up playing country music, and then when I joined that band, we started doing a little more Americana stuff. A little.
It's a
You know,
blurred line, right? I mean,
stuff that you wouldn't hear on the radio.
because
And
some Southern rock is, you could call it country. It's Southern rock. It's country. Nashville. You go into any of those joints on the main drag, and you're not necessarily going to hear what you would think is country.
Right. Yeah, you're going to hear a whole slew of different kinds of music, and you know you'll hear mostly country on Broadway and on Second Avenue, but then you go into Printer's Alley and you're going to hear just a lot of cool musicians, and you go just a few blocks off and you're going to hear different rock bands and blues bands and jazz,
Did you
all
have,
kinds of stuff.
You know, I love when we talk about, like in major league sports, especially NFL, like what was your welcome to the NFL moment, right? You know, it's like when that guy popped the crap out of me and I woke up next week. Did you have like a welcome to Nashville moment where you said to yourself, my God, I wasn't ready for this, I'm out of my league, or anything like that?
Yeah, like for the first 3 years.
You saw Steve Earle at the Bluebird and went, I shouldn't be here.
Oh, actually, you know, I met Steve Earle the first year I was there, and that was a cool.
You know that's his job, right? He doesn't tell anybody that. He's like the welcome wagon. Steve Earle meets everybody that comes in Nashville.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it. When you get to Nashville, and you can be the biggest deal from wherever you are, and you can be a great musician. Then you get there, and you're intertwined with a ton of different musicians that are also the greatest and the best from wherever they were.
Well, it's like being a college D1 football player. Everybody that plays
Exactly.
D1 football was the best player or one of the best players on their high school team.
Well,
Right.
if we look at entertainment, I would think about like New York when it comes to acting on live acting or dancing or singing on stage. You go to New York and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if I'm really, really, really good, everyone here is as equally as good as me.
Hey, I was a hero in Bend, Oregon. Now I'm in Nashville. It's like, uh-oh.
Right. Well,
Now, were you a songwriter? Is that sort of why you went to Nashville,
Yeah.
too? You're like, because I don't know that people realize this unless you watch some of these cheesy shows. Like, I watched the show Nashville, so I feel like I'm an expert. I'm just saying, you go in there and they hire people to write all day long, right? These writing houses. Did you get into any of that kind of stuff?
I never had a publishing deal there, but I had a production deal with a guy there, and we did an EP. But we did mostly original songs the whole time I lived there, and went on tour and opened for a couple acts and did that. So
What was more fun, in Nashville, playing their clubs and working on your writing, or going on tour and opening for some actual name acts?
I loved going on tour. That was a lot of fun. Getting to open, but actually getting to go into different clubs and my band back there, they were incredible. And we came together and it was like, we created this.
Right.
I got to write it and then I had incredible musicians that came together with me and put together some music, and that's what being a band is all
And
about.
there's fans that are there, obviously, to see the headline act.
Right.
But I would think and maybe I'm wrong, but in the country genre, I would think those fans would be a little more receptive to hearing the opening act, per se. I mean, you go to a rock show and you're the opening act for the Stones, you forget it. You're going to get shit thrown at you or whatever. But, I mean, now you got people that are paying attention. You got this built-in audience because they're there to see the headliner.
Right.
And you got a chance in 30 minutes to woo them over, right?
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun, and it was, there was a time and a place for that. Actually, I have a whole lot more fun here, playing music.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. When I was growing up, I didn't realize exactly how cool it was to get out there and be heard by different people, and they keep coming out, and you get to meet them, and you meet a lot of different people, a lot of really nice people.
So you mean when you were young you didn't appreciate it as much?
I guess there was always that greener grass on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
And the big dreams of being a recording artist and all that kind of went away. I got to witness it firsthand, and it's really not all it's cracked up to be. Not for me, anyway.
By the time then, when the dream was gone, is there a dividing line where you look at it and you go, and there was like you broke down on your own one night drinking whiskey? It's never going to happen. Or was it a much more quiet resolution and realization?
It was the smoothest transition. I didn't even realize that it happened, because I traded that dream for a dream that I've had since I was a kid, which was having a family.
Yeah.
Being married, raising children, and that's more rewarding than anything.
That's
you
a
could ever
country
do.
song right there. He just wrote.
Get out
He
of
just
pen and
wrote some.
paper. Get out of pen and
All
paper.
I want is to be a dad. Doom, doom.
Okay, that's actually not bad, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Have you collaborated? Is it easy to write with somebody else?
I have. I've
Not
written,
at this table, but
Yeah.
I've written with with one person. I've written in different rounds and stuff, and it's really cool because you get to bounce different ideas. One person will kind of come up with a melody. One person will come up with a hook, and then everybody just starts throwing in ideas. And you may have an idea of what the song is about, what it's going to be about, and that might change halfway through writing it.
Here, this happened recently. Somebody said they ran into somebody who they write a little poetry, somebody else writes poetry, they might get together and write poetry. And I'm like, I've never heard of that before. Songwriting collaborations, yes. Even screenwriting collaborations. Poetry, no. What is it about songwriting that allows you to sit there and work with other people's ideas without telling them that really stinks.
I think if you're wanting to put together a song that will potentially get cut by somebody or potentially be a hit, then you collaborate with other people that have that same thing in mind. So you're coming up with a snappy, a catchy tune, something that you think would fit on radio, and we've got to make it work within 3 minutes.
You mean a song about a red Solo cup, perhaps?
About a red Solo cup, or about a beer, or a tailgate, and a
Write me a
farmer's
song.
field, or
Write me a
whatever.
song about
But
stag.
it's the same no matter what genre, right? It's like, there are quote unquote hit makers.
Yeah.
There are people that come in that know how the formula of a hit works.
Right.
And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also people who know how to just write great songs that maybe aren't poppy, that not a lot of hooks per se.
Right.
But when you talk about poetry, I mean, really writing lyrics, you're writing poetry.
It is,
Right.
but you're talking about somebody that's going to step in and go, I see what you did there, but let's change this word for this one. And you go, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
But poets don't. I heard a song the other day. Let me go a little deep on some country
Sure.
from about 25, 30 years ago, whatever. Feed Jake. Do you remember Feed Jake?
Feed Jake. Oh yeah, he was a good dog.
He was a good dog,
Uh-huh.
friend through it all, whatever the hell it is. I heard that the other day, and I was like, who heard that? Not the guy who wrote it. Who heard that and said, that we've got to make into a song?
Yeah, exactly.
Because somebody heard it, and I would have said no, but then once they produced it, who did that?
Pirates of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
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 I thought that was a cool song.
The first time I heard it, I was like, this is stupid. Yeah, man, it's Jake. It's his dog, man.
Yeah.
Feed Jake. He says, if I die before I wake, feed Jake. He's been a good dog. My best friend, right through
You know
it
what
all.
that was? He wrote that on a Post-it note for his next-door neighbor who was watching the house during vacation. Hey, man, don't forget, feed Jake. It turned into it happens, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling
You
you right
see
now.
that, and you go, I got
He goes into the chorus. Saddam Hussein still has a job, but I don't. Tonight he'll sleep in a big warm bed, but I won't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's pretty. I mean, it's a depressing song. It's a guy that's lost everything, and yet all he cares about is his best friend.
Dude, if I'm dead, time the morning comes.
Take care of that
You
dog.
better feed
Yeah.
my dog.
Yeah.
You better feed my dog.
Can't feed himself, dude.
I mean, it's strange where a hit will come. And not that it was a massive hit, and a lot of people
Right.
probably don't know it, but
Right.
still, it's you and I remember it.
Yeah.
I heard it just
So,
the other day.
so what made you leave? When did you ultimately decide Nashville's not for me? Or did
Oh,
Nashville
boy.
call you up one day and say, hey, we got to have a meeting?
Yeah.
Or did Steve Earle call you up and go, hey, remember like 3 years ago when we met? That was cool?
Yeah.
Maybe not
I
not
still
now.
want to kick your ass. You better get out of town. For me, it was I'd had different jobs in Nashville, and I was in real estate for a long time, and the market crashed. Lived in a great neighborhood, and everything kind of. I came to a realization. I don't want to work to death. I want to take care of my family. Lived in a good part of town, but I didn't know my neighbors. It wasn't a homey feel.
Right, not a community.
Right, exactly. And my kids, they needed more than what we had to offer there. Living on a cul-de-sac, it's great for some, but I wanted to raise up my kids in the country, give them a little bit more like what I had.
Why, when he talks, do I feel like he's writing a song before us?
Well, I thought he was singling both of us out because you
just-
live at the end
I
of a
know.
cul-de-sac and I live on a cul-de-sac. I'm like, shit,
But
what am
mean,
I doing wrong?
It really does. You're like, living on a cul-de-sac, good for some, not for me. I got my kids. I want to live in the country. I mean,
You know what it is? That's the pre-chorus. We're writing the pre-choruses right now is what we're doing.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to raise my kids up in the country, let them experience a little bit more of what I had growing up, and it was a good move. And I didn't know hardly anybody from mid Missouri, but we moved here and were welcomed in.
Is your wife from here? Is that how the tie is?
My ex-wife was from New Franklin, Missouri.
the at the time wife.
Yeah, my at the time wife. I don't like to say ex-wife because she's the mother of my children.
Yeah.
All right.
And but yeah, we moved to be closer to family, and
Gotcha.
and you know, we were welcomed here not only by people in that town, but everybody in mid-Missouri.
Your
and it's been
folks are
great.
still around, right?
Yes, they're in Oregon.
And how did they feel when you went to Nashville? When you took off and you were 18, you're like, Mom and Dad, I'm going to be a star.
Every conversation for I think the first 10 years was, so when you moving home?
Yeah.
So when you moving home?
They send
And,
you money from time to time because they felt bad.
You know, I only asked for money one time. I had my truck. I blew my engine, and
Here it goes.
so I was like, I think I can get an engine for $400 to replace this one. Can I borrow some money?
Why is it that everything that he's saying now, I'm hearing as a song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does work.
My truck broke down, needed
yeah.
$400.
Oh, I didn't have anything.
Called
you know?
up my mama, said save my life.
He wants to collaborate. It's
Oh, yeah.
painfully obvious.
No, it's horrible is what
in
it
on
is.
this thing.
And feed Jake.
I only know one song. We know
Feed
this.
Jake.
The Devil Went Down to Georgia is the only song that I ever do in public.
Well,
and
you've
that's
done it.
Oh, yeah.
You've done it very well.
I have.
What the
And
parents? Did the parents say, "Yeah, you need $400. Go get another job"?
Good
Or
luck.
did
They
they said,
said-
"We'll send it to you"?
They sent it to me, and they said, the next time you need to borrow money, it's for a bus ticket home.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you
So,
go.
Was
That
that
was
was
it.
that harsh enough that you got the gist and you believed it and you were like, "I'm never borrowing again"?
Oh, well, yeah, but I don't know. I had my dreams and my intents,
Yeah.
and you know, I know they meant it, and you know, it's like if my kids were to move away, it would kill me. You know, I mean, it would really hurt
Yeah,
me having that hole in my heart.
Let us tell you how that works
Yeah.
out. You think that for about 6 months, and then you're like, "Oh, this is great."
Well, I mean, I hear what your parents
Yeah.
said to you, and I think
you
they
know,
said
they're worried about their kid that is,
Yeah.
you know, doing these different jobs, hardly getting anything and barely making it month to month.
right.
You don't want your kids to go through that, but
No, the
then
greatest
again,
time as
that's
a
how you
parent is when
grow.
your kids pay their own bills, and when they call you, it's not for money, and
Exactly.
it's fantastic to see them turn that corner. Like my oldest son just bought his second house, right? He bought his starter house, and he bought a nice, like, almost forever home.
Right.
Couldn't be prouder.
Yeah.
Brand new construction, and they both got great jobs, and there's 3 kids, and you go, is this the same 19-year-old that moved out here from California when
Yeah.
we first moved out here?
Well, and you get to the point you go, "Wow, he's not going to be calling anytime soon, asking for a bus ticket home." Right? I
Yeah.
mean,
no.
but
Well,
you
you know
were
what?
did you appreciated what your parents said though?
Oh
at that time?
gosh, yes. I mean, I don't think I would have made it had they given me an open credit card and you know let me treat them like a crutch.
Yeah.
Or take advantage of that and know that I always had a fallback. I knew that I had to make it, and I knew that I had what it took to make it.
Did you want to get out of
because
Bend?
my parents taught me how to work.
Did you want to get out of there? Were you one of those guys that's like, it's okay here, but I got to get out of Bend?
My
or,
whole
or the area near Bend, in the Central.
No, I love Central Oregon. I loved it, and still do when I go home.
Right.
But you know, my goal was to move to Nashville, get a record deal, see if I could get something going for a few years, and then in about 10 years, move back home and buy a ranch and be a cowboy, and you know that's what I wanted to do. And but you know, throughout the years and throughout experiences, those dreams change, and I'm so glad that they have. 'Cause
How long did you spend in Nashville before you guys came to Missouri?
I was there for about 13 years.
I mean,
Good
that's
God, I didn't know it was that long.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was thinking like 3.
yeah.
No, I was
13 years.
Yeah, from 97 to 2010.
So you were, and this is why I bring this up, because I think that there are a lot of people that will listen to this who had the same dreams as you.
Yeah.
Sort of like actors, right? I'm going to go in and be the next Tom Cruise, or I'm going to be the next such and such.
Right.
And they settle in on these nice careers where they live in a normal neighborhood with a guy who's a paint contractor and a guy who's a general manager at Best Buy or whatever. You're doing what you love, and it's paying the bills to some degree.
Yeah.
But it's not what you got there for. But you know what?
Right.
You're just grinding it out, and you'd rather do that than roof houses.
Right. Exactly. You know,
13 years, man.
Yeah, it's a long
Yeah.
time. That's a long time.
But like I said, my dreams had changed. You know, once I got married, had a family, all of the other stuff was just, you know, if I could go out and play music and have fun, you know, I still kind of wanted to do that for a living, but I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy just being a dad.
I was talking about your welcome to Nashville moment, right? But what about as you ebbed past that thing and you were the senior citizen on the circuit, right? I mean, you were the veteran. You'd been there a while, and there was probably no spot in Nashville that unnerved you, you know, right? Because you were just comfortable everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
by the time you were there 10 years, you could stroll anywhere and just pull your guitar and start playing.
Right. And it's, you know, Nashville's the same way. I've still got friends there, and if I wanted to go down there for a weekend and play a gig with old friends, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Now, when you're up here,
Yeah.
you're playing by yourself. And when we finish up, by the way, we're going to keep the show going, and you're going to start your gig tonight.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know where we are in our timing, but you're going to start playing while we finish up the show.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever get nervous standing in front of a bunch of idiot asses up here? And
Nope, just doing a video podcast. It's the only time I ever get nervous.
is that more nerve-wracking than getting up there and
gosh,
singing?
yeah. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. I know what I'm going to sing up there.
Yeah.
You know, and the band rehearsals go all right because everybody shows up.
Yeah, they do.
You know, but no, I feel very comfortable playing.
And
It's
what's
fun.
the worst thing about playing at small venues?
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
Nothing.
It's not the highway that's
Yeah,
clearly
you got-
behind
you
us,
got the highway with the rhythm of the tires on
or
the
the
blacktop.
wind that's clearly behind us as we get here.
Really, you know, it's every gig is different, but they're all fun, and I guess it's just not knowing what to expect when you pull up at a place. You know, are people going to be attentive? Are they going to be, you know, are they going to join in and have fun? That's about it.
I mean,
That's
some
the only
are
thing that kinda
attentive,
fills
and
the
they get all into it. They're like, "Hey, man, play another Johnny Cash, or play that one
Oh, yeah.
classic rock thing that I like," and they're
That's
all
what I
into
want.
it. And other people are just drinking and talking, and that's kind of
That's
what
fun.
they want to do.
Yep.
Hey.
On a gig like this, though, you're going to do how many covers versus, like, are you going to slip an original in from time to time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I just kind of go with whatever everybody else wants. You know, it's not about me. I'm not here to be a headliner or anything like that. You know, people are having a party. They want music. They want fun, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
All right,
It's
when they're
awesome.
out here having a good time, and they go, "Let's send up some shots to the dude playing and singing," and they send you a shot. Is that a good thing?
It's, yeah, unless I have to drive. But
Well,
no, it's always fun. You know.
so you can drink while you're up there playing.
Yeah.
What's the
That's-
limit?
That's kind of a
I
cool
mean, we're
part
doing it
about the
now. We're
job, you know?
drinking while we're doing our
Yeah.
thing.
I'm not playing music up there.
Sort of are.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. But when you've been doing this so long and you've got a natural talent for it, that you can sit up there and they send you another beer and you're like, "Yeah, bring it on up here."
Yeah. And I have what 3-4 minutes between sips. It's fine.
Well,
Get to
that's
pace
true.
myself.
That's
You know,
why
if you
gotta have
got one of
shots.
those cool hats that had the beer cans on it with it, you could just drink and play the whole entire time.
Okay, there are hats like that, but you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
cool hats. I don't know that we say that that's a cool thing to wear.
I don't think it's not cool.
I mean,
don't you want
I
one?
mean,
Tom?
agree to disagree, but
Everybody
Okay,
wants one.
I want one, but I also want my mullet back. All right, and that ain't cool.
oh no,
Just letting you know that thing. But I've always wondered, like, you guys do those shots. You don't just go, "Okay, everybody, let's drink," and you throw it off behind your shoulder.
I don't do that. I have equipment behind me, so
So
don't do
that's-
that.
No,
it's
what,
not gonna
what you
happen.
do is you do what my daughter. My daughter's a bartender, and she doesn't drink. She's the best bartender because she'll never steal from you. So what she does is she makes up this cranberry-looking thing that's her shot, and customers want to buy her a shot, so she charges them for the shot, and then she drinks whatever this cranberry concoction
It's
is.
water and ocean spray.
That's all
and
it is,
that's
man.
There you go.
And they
So
put
you
it
just
down.
all you got to do ahead of time is you go work with the bar and say, "Hey, listen, if anybody ever orders me a shot, tell them my favorite shot is X," and they just bring that out to you. You don't have to worry about it.
What is your go-to shot?
just whatever comes.
Oh,
I
come on
guess.
now.
Yeah.
What do you like? Goldschlager? You like whiskey?
I'll have
You
a
like
Fireball. Sometimes I'll ask for a Fireball if my voice is
So
kinda
you don't like
giving
alcohol, is
out.
what you're saying?
I'm sorry, it's medicinal.
No,
Is
I
that what
don't.
you just said?
It is.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
medicinal.
Yeah, if the voice is a little
Warms
weak
you up.
over here.
Little fireball
Yeah,
hits you right about
fireball.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Then he's
But,
like, no.
I'm not a big shot person though.
Right.
So you
not a
like a
big-
good beer?
I like beer. Makes me a jolly good fellow.
Well, there you go. Well,
stag
well,
beer.
cheers to you, the conversation
Yeah.
beer Zach. So let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. So 13 years in Nashville, how many Zach Simpsons did you see come to town over your 13 years?
I was the only one that I knew.
But you know what I'm saying.
You're talking about
guys like you that would come in, had the dream.
everybody.
I mean, the percentage of people that are going to really get big deals or whatever versus guys that are just working it every day.
Probably 95% of the people that you meet that are musicians, your manager at whatever job you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? He was a pretty badass guitar player in a band at one point, and that a lot of people move there, and then like for me, things change.
Right.
And but it's Nashville's a really cool place.
I love Nashville.
It's a place where you kind of find yourself and find out if this is really what you want.
Which is
is
another
it worth
thing.
the sacrifice?
You mentioned about the guitar player. You need a lot of decent musicians that have no aspirations of writing hit songs or singing out there to millions of people a week. You need some really good session players.
Oh yeah.
Are there session players that go to Nashville with they have no desire to be a star? They just want to play in the studios.
There's so many people that move there that just want to, they want to be session players, or they just want to be in a touring band or whatever. People move there just because they love the music and they love the whole vibe of Nashville.
Because all the
It's a
stories
really
we
cool
hear are
place.
more like yours, which is, going from all the way from Central Oregon, that is not on the coast, and moving all the way to Nashville. And you had dreams about, I'm going to write some hit songs, I'm going to be the front man out there, we're going to tour, I'm going to be a star.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this thing. But there have got to be drummers that go, I want to go to Nashville, and I want to be the next best drummer in Nashville.
Right.
And drum for some. But we never talk about those
Yeah.
drums.
You know what? Everybody finds the different thing about music that makes them tick. And for some people it's playing in a studio. Some people they want to be a record producer, work in a studio. I don't know. It's different for everybody.
Does anybody have the dream of sitting outside of Woody's in a windstorm?
I do.
All right, just check.
Dude, I checked the temperature forecast before we got out here, and I'm like, I don't need anything. A T-shirt's going to be fine. I am freezing out
Dude,
here.
for those of you that are watching on video, these are my nipples showing. I'm just saying, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little.
They're nice.
Thank you.
They could cut glass.
He goes
they
up,
used to be
yeah.
pierced, so they never sit down anymore. Because when you pierce them and you put
They
12
never
gauges,
sit down
no.
anymore.
And I almost wonder if it's a harassment issue in my office when I walk around in just a polo, like someone's going to go, I'm a little offended.
Are you saying you may need some kind of coverage?
I might need pasties. Do they make male pasties?
Wait a second.
Masties?
You're saying they're always at attention because they got pierced?
So I had
Because
12.
I didn't know these things.
I had 12 gauge piercings in both of my nipples, and I think what happens is, I still have. You can sort of feel where they were before, right? There's scar tissue.
I see.
So I have scar tissue that doesn't allow them to just relax. You're excited about this, aren't you? See, that's
I don't know
what
about
happens.
excited.
So if you ride your bike too fast, do they
I mean,
whistle?
Dude, if I walked from here to that door. Oh, you mean do they
they're at-
whistle?
I mean,
do they whistle?
That'd be a good trick. No, but the Prince Albert that no, never mind.
Oh God!
Wow.
All right, this went south.
All right, so
He had
here's
yet went
well,
south.
it did go south. So here's the final question that I have.
Sure.
So 13 years in Nashville. What's the one moment? I'm thinking about, did you ever play at the Ryman, the Holy Church, the whole thing? But what's the one moment that is just like, that defines everything that I did? It was the greatest moment in the 13 years that I was there. Maybe it's when you met your wife. She's a lovely person.
Maybe
I
it's
like
when
her.
Steve Earle said,
Well, let's
hey,
go back-
boy,
let's
boy,
go back to
could you
music.
fetch me
Yeah.
my guitar?
That was one of the coolest moments when I met Steve Earle.
Right.
But when I got a gig at the basement which is a really cool underground bar. There, it's below Grimey's record store on 8th, and it's the cool place to play. Mike Grimes, I had called him up. I said, hey, I'm wanting a gig there. He said, do you ever come here? I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, why don't you come to the bar and let's talk. And he gave me a gig there, playing a couple different nights. That was a really cool. That was a monumental.
Why, was there a secret handshake or something that you had to do it?
I think he asked you the right question. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's one thing to want to come play there. It's like, why don't you come here first and get a feel for it?
See if it's going to work for you.
Check the vibe.
Yeah.
And let's see how it's going to work. Can I mention what you're doing right now with your life, besides when you come to Woody's and perform for all of us, is that you and your wife, Holly, which, by the way, those who are watching our video on this are like, my God, Zach Simpson is good looking.
He's a good-looking man. I mean, let's be honest.
Because Holly is off the charts good looking. He could not outkick his coverage. He's like, he tried. He tried. Yeah. You guys are both beautiful people. You put both of them together, it's like, stop it. Just one of you guys stop it right now. You guys own and run Hotel Frederick in Boonville, Missouri, which is one of the oldest and most eclectic hotels in all of the Midwest. It's really a fabulous place. It overlooks the Missouri River. And on a decent weekend, if you go downstairs to the Brick Room, which is incredible, the feel is amazing, this guy is there playing music live. And you're just sitting 3 feet away, and he plays 15 songs. Goes, what do you want next?
I think it's great. My favorite part is, though, what you don't realize is that about 6 hours earlier, he was walking around the building spraying for bugs.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Because he has to work.
Exactly. You know this, don't you?
I know this very well.
We had breakfast and watched you work.
We did. We were across the street at the diner.
That's right.
And we were looking outside. We're like, what the hell is Zach doing? And you had and you were spraying.
You were taking care of the plants out there and kind of nipping buds and whatnot.
Yeah. I do all the landscaping and all the maintenance on the hotel.
Right. I mean, that's the work and the hustle that you got to do so that you can go downstairs on Friday nights and Saturday nights and entertain the crowd. Yeah. Food's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The drink's amazing. We had a nice group there one time. And I think we stayed there way longer than we were supposed to, because I remember this motorcycle trip. We did a whole motorcycle trip that ended at the Hotel Frederick.
Right.
There was a room deal. We all had rooms. We got downstairs. The plan was he was supposed to play, if I remember correctly, 2 sets. That was the deal, right?
Like 90 minutes each?
He would just play.
Think so,
I just remember someone saying, well, Zach, he's busy, but he's going to play 2 sets.
Right.
It was like 1 o'clock in the morning when we were done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys got there at like 5 or something.
I mean, at one point we pulled out your iPhone and we were just playing music out of here. Yeah, we do.
Now listen, I'm going to use our Conversational Beer intro as an outro right now, because I know we have to release Zach from our conversation to get over here.
He's got to start playing. We probably got another 10, 15 minutes.
I know, but he has to get over there and start playing.
I mean, he's literally going to be right here over my shoulder.
I know.
Yeah.
So we're going to thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
So while you're up there playing tonight, you want us to send you a stag?
That sounds great.
I think a shot of Jack kind of works, to be honest with you.
Shot of Jack. But if his voice gets hoarse, he needs a fireball.
Hey, no. You asked me.
He's in the middle of Johnny
I mean,
Cash.
fireballs for beginners.
I walk the line.
Fireballs for beginners. Let's just be honest. Fireballs for beginners. Drink a real man shot. At least Jameson, for God's sake.
Who's driving to Boonville tonight? You taking
not me.
We're all going to take
Not me. I'm going about 5 miles up the road.
All right.
Zach Simpson, ladies and gentlemen. Give him up for
Hey,
Zach
thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
He's going to step over and take on the stage.
Well, I'd love to
here.
say that he's not going to be on camera, but he's just not going to be on the camera he was on. He's going to be on this one right here.
Yeah. So
this is going to be weird. Like, he's just going to look over my shoulder. So for those of you that are listening as a podcast and only listen as a podcast, might I encourage you on this particular episode to go to Facebook or go to YouTube, where we put the video up, and watch this particular one, because this is going to be odd.
Well, I think it's worth checking out. By the way,
there's a tornado coming through here.
The wind is only up to 35 miles
an hour.
What is going on?
Now.
So that's good.
I've been here for 14 years. I've lived out here, right?
This fan is not on, by the way.
No,
it's just
not.
spinning.
And the funny thing is, when I first got out here, people said, well, if you don't like the weather, just give it 5 minutes, it'll change. It's changed 8 times since we sat here.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. I've got a jacket in the car. I'm getting ready to go put it on, by the way.
Like, during the. You're just gonna leave?
No.
Like I did that
No.
one time. You're just gonna put the headset down and walk away?
This guy puts his headset down and he goes,
I had to pee.
He says, I got to pee. He gets up and I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. What's he going to do? And
No,
he
it was
got up.
exactly like this. I gotta pee.
No. Don't do it. Are you going to do it again? God damn it. I'm like, please don't do that to me.
Came back, and you just kept going. I mean, really, what I should have done is I should have just had a wireless headset and just took you in the bathroom with me. But
No, you should have had a hose
that goes
hooked
against
up over there.
everything that I stand for.
We have every reason to thank Zach for sitting here and chatting with us. And the Stag beer was delicious.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I had a stag beer. By the way, this also ties into our other big love, which is motorcycles, because this is actually bike night.
There were going to be motorcycles out here tonight.
Well, there's going to be. Somebody's going to show up.
It didn't happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. But thank you to Boulevard Brewing for bringing me a bandana tonight, which doubles as a blanket when you're cold.
Yeah. Well,
So-
for you, yeah, that's about the right size.
I was going to
That's
put on a
perfect.
little cuddle over here, try to stay
Nice.
warm. I got to go get a jacket. How much time do you want?
I don't
Would
know.
you like us to take up? Because I'm going to open another beer if we're still talking.
Well, let's go ahead. I mean, we did 50 minutes. All right, so let's do a little preview for next week because I'm really excited.
this is a big deal.
I'm excited about next week's show.
What if we were to decide our beer also and let people know ahead of time what the beer next
I
week
would
is
like
gonna
to do
be?
that. Do you think
Do you
you-
need a bud?
Yeah, I do actually.
Here you go.
Let me finish the stag. I already finished this
You
bud.
got that? Can you reach this?
Sure.
Stretching.
Got
There we
another
go.
bud.
All right. So next week is like the bookend to what we did back before the first of the
I think
year.
it's one of many chapters.
Yeah.
It's one of many chapters. It'll be chapter 2 of what we affectionately call the barbecue show.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember back in December, it was, I think, the second show we ever did together for this particular series. I went to California for kind of a post-Christmas thing, and we went to Matt's house, my buddy Matt, Barbecue Matt, and you were freezing to death at your house on the video link in front of your smoker. We were in shorts and flip-flops in his garage in California. We had the smoker cam, so we had all that going on. And I thought that was a really great show.
Yeah,
And I felt
thought it was
horrible
very
for
good.
you because we had an amazing tomahawk that we cooked and some tri-tip and some ribs.
Hey, man,
and
I had some good stuff on my smoker, and I had
It
the
was
firebox
fine.
right there.
it
and
was
keep-
fine.
What do you mean it was fine?
It was fine.
It was good.
But
I
we
had
weren't
damn good
enjoying it
smoked meat.
together. We weren't
Well,
enjoying all of it together.
I feel like he just slammed my smoking. You heard that?
Yeah,
I think
you-
it's a crock of shit.
Well, let's talk about
Here-
your mac and cheese fiasco.
Okay, there was a mac and cheese problem.
All right.
Okay, well, you gotta bring that up again. We
That's what
had,
the show's about, right?
didn't we have? I was also smoking a chicken, and we took some wings off of that and ate them right there. All right,
That's
all
all
right. What's the difference between what we did then and what we're doing next week?
So next week, Barbecue Matt is making his triumphant return to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
He came to Missouri 2 years ago, about the same time of year, for no other reason than for me to take him to tons of barbecue joints
Yeah.
so he can understand flavor profiles and all that fun stuff. Now he's making a return. He'll be here Tuesday of next week, which means next week's show will be round 2 of the barbecue show where all of us are together in the same place.
I'm not barbecuing though at all.
No, I am.
Is Matt barbecuing?
No.
So
Well-
Matt and I are just sitting back. while
Well,
you're
I don't
working?
know. He might. I mean,
Oh,
but
that
here's
sounds pretty good to me.
here's the cool part. I'm trying to figure out what to do, right? Because we had talked about maybe doing like homemade McRibs, or I got a new flat top, so maybe we'll do smash burgers, or maybe we'll smoke a tri-tip and finish it off on the grill. Or I just purchased a new item that's going to show up at my house on Friday. I'm going to test it this weekend.
Yes.
I bought a pizza oven. I bought a dual fuel pizza oven. It runs on charcoal or hardwood or both. And it's like a legitimate pizza oven, like where the rolling flame is on the top of the roof. And
I am jealous. I'm envious.
yes.
I haven't tasted what you've cooked there yet.
No. I'm gonna do a little test run
Could be
this
horrible.
weekend.
Could be horrible.
It could be horrible, but this pizza oven gets to 925 degrees
Does it do it fast?
in 15 minutes,
Wow.
and it's portable.
All right,
I could bring it to your house.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. I don't want you working too hard next week during the show. My God, the wind will not stop blowing, and
No,
it's
it's
really
crazy.
chilly out here. I don't want you working hard during the show. So if you're going to do the pizzas, that's fine, but you're going to have to do some prep on it ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, we'll be all right.
So you pull
But
it
see,
out.
here's the thing. You got Matt sitting there, so you can talk with Matt, and I'm going to have a remote camera showing the action, kind of like what we did back in California.
That's fine, but
remember I had that other camera.
What we're talking about, I mean, if you're out there, if you make 3 pizzas, it's going to take you the entire show.
No.
And you'll be working
No.
hard.
You can make a pizza in like 2 minutes.
I know, but you have to assemble a pizza.
Oh, no, that'll be done in advance.
Well, that's what I'm
no,
saying.
No.
So you're going to assemble a pizza, have them ready to go. You're going to pull them out on the pizza peel. A lot of
Yes.
people don't know that.
I did buy it. I bought a peel.
That wide thing that carries a
Yes.
pizza is called
Actually,
the peel.
I bought a turning peel. I bought one that's a smaller, round peel so that you can get in there and do a little flick of the wrist and turn the pizza.
Yeah.
See, there's a bike. I told you it's bike night. There's a bike right behind you.
No, there is a bike.
So, anyways, the pizza oven, it'll do pizzas.
Don't wait for us.
No, you keep going. No, you do your thing.
He's starting to work it up.
Look,
I don't hear him
see
yet.
right here over my shoulder? That's Zach Simpson.
He's getting his mic
Look,
going.
right
Watch
there.
this.
That's him right there. Look that's Zach Simpson.
Test your mic. Let me hear you.
Oh
Check.
my God, dude!
Listen to that voice. Check 1,
Oh,
2.
hello there.
Check 1, 2.
Good evening.
Check
I'm
1,
Zach
2.
Simpson.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jackson.
He's opening up with Johnny Cash. You know that, right? Right, little Johnny Cash. Is that what we said?
Oh, so that's the vocal mic, and the other one is the
harmonica mic.
Wow.
Which is funny because we talked about this. The harmonica mic is what everybody kind of used in the 50s as a regular mic.
Yeah.
And it had that certain sound.
I got to turn down our.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turn ours down.
I'm turning
do
our
your thing.
speaker
Yeah,
down.
you're good.
Okay, so now everyone who's here cannot hear
No,
us anymore.
they want to hear Zach.
All right,
anyway.
so Zach's going to be in the back. Oh, he's starting to play. He's starting to play.
Here we go. The calling down the bend.
I don't think people want you singing, though. No.
Folsom Prison.
No singing.
Why?
Because we're not going to sing. We
Oh,
promise
it's so
we'll
good,
not be
though.
singing. All right, what were we saying? Okay, so barbecue show next week. I feel like we got to yell right now.
Yeah, what's the conversational beer? You want to come up with one that goes with barbecue?
Yes, I do. I want something that goes with barbecue. It needs to be a sharp flavor, not floral. I know you like a hazy IPA, but I don't want to go with an IPA. I want to go with a pale ale.
Hold a second. Just to watch him die.
Nobody
I'm good.
wants to hear you sing.
Everybody knows that line.
I think, have we done Boulevard Brewing yet?
Yeah, remember we had I think we did.
Was it their pale ale?
I don't remember.
That's-
No, wait. Hold on. I can tell you. I
Okay,
have a
look
list.
it up. Look it up because
look.
I think it should be their pale ale in honor of my new bandana.
Boulevard Snow and Tell we've done.
Yeah, no, that's a whole different. Let's do the Boulevard pale ale.
All right, so for those of you that want to play the home game,
Yes.
Boulevard Brewing Pale Ale.
Okay, now, don't expect this every week from us. Don't start thinking we're going to do this all the time. But we're doing it this week. We're giving you a week's heads up. Get the Boulevard Pale Ale if you can find it in your area, okay?
And if not, just bring whatever beer you got.
Yeah, just join us, and I'm back to our tailgate beer again, which is a
Me too.
Budweiser. And he's playing. We can almost go out on him playing.
I think we should.
All right, no close on this thing.
Nope.
Well, this has been Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story.
That's Zach Simpson.
We're muted. Put the banner on. We're muted.
Well, they freed me from this prison if that railroad train was mine. You bet I'd move it on a little farther down
That's
the
lovely.
line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I
This has been a podcast story. Tom's World Beer Tour. For future episodes, download and subscribe where you get your podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or send us an email at tomsworldbeertour@gmail.com. All content property of Tom's World Beer Tour, copyright 2021. No beer was harmed during this production. Only consumed.